for the Shop Report with...
Yes, and welcome to
Sure.
the Shop Report special presentation of
After Dark Shop Report. Yes, when we talk about your fantasy, sit starts, cuts, signs, trades, waiver wires, and along with that, the others goings on about sports, because clearly today was a day. Wouldn't you say today was a day?
we may want to plant our flag with that.
Yeah. Woohoo, boy. How you doing, Double J?
I'm doing fantastic. And of course, I am Double J, your host. My guy to my left, your right, or something inverted of that nature is none other than the man, the myth, the legend, D Gully from, of all places, Columbus, Ohio.
Woo, man. I stayed off of those streets, especially High Street, because it was not too high today. Oh, boy, what can we say about that, man? The question that I have, I just want to get right to the brass tacks, right? Because we can pontificate, we can go on our diatribes, our rants and raves on all. I would just say, does Ohio State still find themselves in the 12-team playoff? No. You say no. Tell me what. Because
there's a clip out there from me less than a week ago asking who Ohio State's signature win was.
Right, and we said, well, it was the Big Ten. It's outside of Oregon. It's the Big Ten. Remember, Indiana was ranked in top 10. Penn State was ranked top 10. That might have been the only, and then the other top 10 would have been Oregon, whom they lost in a close game, but they lost.
So again, I'm going to quickly go through them.
Yeah.
Akron, Western Michigan.
Can you pull it up?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Bring it up on the screen.
Here we go. I'll just share this tab here. So again, this straight from Google. Again, in order, starting with Akron. Okay, then we got Western Michigan, Marshall, Michigan State, Iowa. Obviously, like you highlighted when we were live, Oregon sneaks by them.
Nebraska.
Yep. And then there you go. Penn State. Yeah. Oof.
Right.
Although Indiana's doing that to them right now. So that's about par for the course. And
Northwestern.
Yep.
Then Indiana. Now,
bruh, I'm going to be honest with you, man. IU and Penn State as my signature wins.
Right. It don't look good. It don't look good at all. But what I'm saying, though, it seemed like it's enough. It seems like as if it's going to be enough.
We got Austin checking in.
Austin?
What's our fantasy team doing? I actually escaped having anyone go on Thursday. Could have with Hopkins, went away from it, and was more so. I think I sent it in the Discord. Did a little prop parlay and had a very happy Thanksgiving from that.
Yeah, indeed.
And so Vasco da Gama, for those that are wondering, not the Explorer, but team named after him, did tie that game like I had asked for. I just was a little gun shy on what my willingness was going to be. Otherwise, I'd probably wouldn't even be on the camera. I'd be standing up or something of that nature, or outside for that matter. So, yeah, nevertheless, we're looking at Ohio State's roster, or record rather, and do you think that's a record of a playoff team?
I'm asking about the possibility. I don't know. I'm inclined to think that this is they're going to be 12th or 11th. Remember, the top 12 make it to the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the top 12 make it to the playoff. You're past the rivalries. You very likely are going to see Oregon sooner than later. So that could be a plus. But are they out of the top 12? That's the question. Remember, this was the number 2 ranked team in the country going into before today.
Right.
So do they fall out of the top 12? And understand, we talk about money, right? Money makes the world go round. Ohio State will travel well. So would it be fitting for them to go from 2 down to like 9th or 10th?
Boy, I never thought that Penn State win would really, because it's going to be Penn State, Oregon next week.
Oh, for the Big Ten championship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If Penn State wins that, then I don't know. That's the question. Which helps Ohio State more? I think it would
Barbershop Jays, Hurricanes, losing.
Okay. So the Hurricanes losing will help Ohio State more.
I'm looking at this and saying, okay, so you have, because here's what's going to occur. You now have another SEC team, right? And not in both Alabama and South Carolina, right?
Yep.
13-15.
Yep.
If you leave one of them out, you have an issue. If you leave both of them out, you have probably people protesting.
Yeah.
And I'm pointing that out because South Carolina beat number 12, at least by AP poll 12, which is Clemson.
Yep.
On the road. So they're going to say, wait a minute, that should already put us in.
Right.
9, which is SMU, who I said would get in anyway, albeit weak schedule or not. And then even a team like Arizona State throttles who they were supposed to play. I'm looking across the board here. Tennessee handled business like they should have.
Yep.
Notre Dame at 5 wins like they should have. Ooh, dude. Texas handling business as we speak. Oregon's in control of that game. IU's in control. I mean, it's 45-0. It's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this and saying I don't know if it's enough for them to fall out entirely.
Now they're gonna probably go to they'll probably end up where SMU is currently at 9. I can't imagine them falling shorter, or let's say remaining higher than 9 because of what everything else is doing. But you said, now wait a minute, what's going on with Miami right now?
Miami lost.
Miami lost today to who?
Yep, Syracuse. Speaking of Ohio State guys, Kyle McCord.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
McCord went to Syracuse, right?
Yeah, he left to Syracuse, right? And then potentially saves their season in the
Wow.
most bizarre way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Kyle McCord. Wow, that's gotta be irony, right?
Oh man. What a terrible spot to kind of be in for him. It's like, you know what? I'm really gonna show them.
You're right, exactly. Exactly. Okay, selection day is next Sunday, December 8th. Next Sunday.
I didn't realize they put Arizona State in. So you can't take Arizona State out.
You can't take Arizona State out because
Well, and now you can't even punish Georgia for that 8 overtime game.
well, they still got two. Oh no, right? Because Ohio State now has 2 losses. Yeah.
Are they going to? Oh man! Wait a minute. Both of these guys won.
Hey,
They both won.
I think Penn State beating Oregon helps Ohio State more.
Currently, there are how many? 1, 2,
How many? What?
3. There are 3 SEC teams in here.
In the top 12?
Mm-hmm. I think these two.
Georgia, and wait a minute. In the top 12?
Yeah, Texas.
Oh, Tennessee, Georgia, and Texas. Yep.
So here's what's interesting, right? Because you have the automatic qualifier. So even though Miami lost, do they still get in like that?
Well, right. They're still atop the ACC, correct?
Yep. Checking in with Austin, I scored 85 points. Gibbs, Montgomery, Jonnu Smith. If you were listening, Jonnu Smith was a name. Tyreek and the Cowboys defense. Man, dude, Jonnu Smith, if that Tyreek Hill touchdown doesn't go through his hands, I probably get tipped from how much. I think they got a shot. Oh, no. Givey's cooked already. Givey, how are you cooked on Saturday? Oh, no. That's how.
I'm playing Bowers.
They both went off, dude.
How are you cooked on
Bowers really went off. I mean, that wasn't even like – that was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. What do we got?
Oh, no. All right, remind us, who else do you have? Because now it's time to be strategic. And when we talked the other day on Wednesday, I think you were looking at Bucky, and I get concerned when the consensus. I wish Doc were here. He's supposed to jump on here soon, but he I don't know. It seems like the whole world seems to like Bucky this week, and that's what scares me.
Yeah.
Bowers is indeed a beast. You sat them all? I thought one of them was going to be your flex. I said Uncle Rico had a good matchup. I just said it worried me. Like, because if it wasn't now, then when? And again, Tracy was my receiving prop, one of them. But Bucky is his flex. Oof. It may not be over because the rest of his team is strong. And the Miami running back had a good game. I wouldn't have said like the best of games in the world.
Right. All right. So we still got okay. So right now, getting into fantasy there. But
yeah, breaking down this Ohio State thing too. Where do you put Ohio State now?
They've got to be at least 9th. They can't be higher than 9th. I don't think they fall out of it completely. I mean, that Michigan is unranked. Now, hold on. Is Michigan now bowl eligible? And how close? Where were they ranked? Michigan. Do they crack the top 25?
No.
Oh, they still far from the top 25? Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so Michigan, unfortunately, They had lost to Washington, lost to Illinois, lost to Oregon. They lost to Indiana.
But they beat the Buckeyes. They beat the number 2
on the road too.
On the road. And I tell you what, man, planting the flag. I don't know. I'm of a different type, man.
Go on.
I'm of a different type. I'm like, look, man. Ohio State don't do it, but they seem to have a problem when others do it. But the way to be able to prevent that from happening is to win the game in regulation. So I look at, in the spirit of when we call it the gridiron battle, we make all of these kind of battle war analogies. But then when we take it to this form of symbolism, then it's a bridge too far. Then it's a step too far. Then overdoing it. That don't make sense to me. The war in the trenches, the battle, the gladiators, all of these
war type metaphors. Gus Johnson.
Yeah, but all of these analogies. Then when it comes to, hey, we beat the team. The best damn band in the land is allowed to make a flag, allowed to make a poop emoji that craps on our flag during halftime. Oh, we're supposed to just take it, right? And it's supposed to be it's funny, it's playful. The best can give the Michigan flag sweet chin music, can shoot it through the chest, can lampoon it, whatever they want to do at halftime to the flag in Michigan or in Ohio State. But then when the battle is won, and they want to plan it, oh, now it's a bridge too far. Now we about to really fight. Now we about to, like, I don't understand that. Like, you know what? It's a shrewd gesture, sure. But I don't think it's harmful, any more harmful than any other thing you do. We don't even want, listen, we X out the letter M over street signs on that week. That team up north, Teton, it's a bit, it takes on almost religious significance. Yesterday, I was at Kroger. The woman at checkout wore an Ohio State hat. The bagger of the groceries had his Michigan garb. I was on guard the whole time. I'm like, it's about to pop off here. It could very well happen right here. So I don't think it deserves the degree of reprimand that they may get. I don't think it's distasteful. I don't think it's tremendously disrespectful or distasteful, considering all the other battle analogies and what we allow the best damn band in the land to do to Michigan in playful or in jest at halftime. So in this case, like, yo, make your mark. Now remember this when we go back next year, and when we finally figure this thing out, because Ohio State will win again, then we do the same. Plant our flag. And don't nobody say, matter of fact, it should be called the flag planting game. You should be able to do that. The winner plants their flag at half field, at midfield, on the 50-yard line on the logo. The winner of the game does it. So when the Buckeyes preserve home, they plant their flag in there. Or if they go to Michigan, they plant their flag there. Like, yeah, we won this. We won it. And it should be allowed. Because we make these metaphors, we make these analogies about war and battles all the time. And what do? What is one of the most famous images that we have in this great country of ours? The several men holding up the flag, right?
I thought that was on the Delaware River. Or you're talking about the war one.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought
like we do this all
Washington.
The time. It's ingrained in our culture about patriotism and so on and so forth. So if you're proud of your Ohio State Buckeyes,
well, and our flag was still there. I mean, it's in the anthem.
And yes, and our flag was still there. We do all these things about our flag, planting it to show victory, to show that we triumph, and all of these things. And Michigan, for what it's worth, Michigan had a chance. Michigan needed a win like this versus Ohio State to salvage their season.
Yeah, look, I'm not opposed to it. I just think, if you're Ohio State, you have to see the bigger picture, right? Look what we're talking about. We're talking about them here. So flag planting, flower planting, irrelevant to what's going on here. And I get it's in the moment, but you let Baker Mayfield do it. So enough.
Well, I mean, they ain't let him do it. He had the idea to get it done, and he ran and did it.
Well,
but
sure. I mean, no different than T.O. running to the star.
Yep.
Now, he paid a price, too, when he did that.
Yeah, he did.
There was a fee. There was a toll road. So
there was a fee. But I'm saying, like, yo, if that's what you do, then that's what you do. You know what I mean? If you don't want it to happen, win. At least hold serve at home.
Yeah, so to quickly to Givey's point, because I know he's panicking. Just real quick, Givey, Philly's allowed the 5th fewest receiving yards per game and only 1 receiving touchdown to tight ends this season. So, look, I don't love Otten necessarily this week either, but Carolina is, statistically speaking, far more generous to that position. Even though, again, you have to be weary of the fact that Mike Evans is back and that happens to be his favorite target, which, again, that's why everyone suffered. All those receivers not named Mike Evans essentially became the runts of the litter and were malnourished. And so all of us were by default as well. But, yeah, so, again, Gully, to your point, plant the flag. But to get the real MVP, two foes status on this, he's saying Boise State has a chance to be the 3 seed. All they need to do is win the Mountain West for Clemson to beat SMU. SMU. Let's see. Whoa, that is next week.
What is next week?
Clemson, SMU.
Yeah.
Ooh. Who you got in that? So, again, Clemson just lost a close one, albeit at home versus South Carolina. Again, rivalry, right?
Right.
But I don't think there was really any doubt in my mind with who the better of the two teams were. SMU, I've already said, if it was a who can raise the most funds in the least amount of time contest, well, they'd be near the top of my list because of what we've already seen occur.
Right.
So who do you like coming out of the ACC? Because now Miami, this changes everything with Miami losing.
Hold on, let's see here. What we got? You got rankings?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got the rankings up right now. Are you saying for everybody else though?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can get that. Let's see.
Do you start the bench CD? Hold on, give these guys. Do you start the bench CD? Well,
so I'm going to say yes.
Question. You say yes?
I'm not going to say like yes with context, right? So we have to start treating him like everybody else, unfortunately, when it comes to who their matchups are. And now I don't doubt he's faking the injury, but they were in full control of the game. And these next few matchups aren't really as flattering for Dallas. So you could look at that and say, okay, potentially shadow coverage, and then which is not great. So now it is time to take it case by case. But remember here, there's still other guys that are dealing with quarterbacks missing time and amongst others. And I mean, Aiden O'Connell looked like Purdue Aiden O'Connell and was able to just go off, exposing what I had pointed out about the Kansas City side of things. But It's too bad that one prop didn't hit. Otherwise, I'd be doing this for Vegas. 5 to 8 targets. Oops. See, that's what I'm talking. See this right here. My 2 top picks are benches now. That's crazy.
Starting Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, and Bucky.
Chase Brown again. Not. He's a full PPR, if I remember correctly, for Givey. So
right,
top 10 for Chase Brown. Even though in theory it's not the most ideal against Pittsburgh's defense, but the pass catching ability should go a long way. Yeah, Kenneth Walker. The Jets is not that kind to the position, but I've seen every other running back at least get like a 1-yard touchdown. And then he said Bucky, which again, if game script goes to plan, I could see this game going one of 2 ways. Look, the Tampa backfield still does scare me a little bit, as it should with everybody. Yeah. Because it's a 3-headed monster. But Bucky against the Giants was able to get a lot of production. If they get ahead against Carolina, great. That bodes well for him. If it's tight like the Kansas City game was, if all of a sudden now they've somehow turned some page with this second coming of Bryce Young, then I would be concerned. But at the same time, as somebody that has Bucky Irving, even in the games like Kansas City that he only played 35%, he still was able to get double-digit fantasy points.
Right.
If he goes north of 35%, he's netting 20. As a matter of fact, even the Giants, he only played 30%, and he still did well. But the Giants are terrible against the run, hence why Rico Dowdle went off. Right. Which was kind of my point, Givey, as to why I was kind of saying play Rico because of what Bucky was able to do against them. But that's it. Those things happen.
Right.
Oof. Yikes. All right, so let's see. Where's this top 25? Here we go. All right. This is it right here. Once we get outside of those 12, here's who you have remaining.
All right, say again.
Are you able to see that? Well, matter of fact, I'll try to. I don't know. Maybe I could blow this up or something. But we'll take our first break of the night, and then we'll come back here momentarily. Try to take a look at who might crack this top 25.
It's K. Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report. I'm Harvey Diallo, and you watching the Shop Report. My name's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report. Oh, you're Jay Knight, you're watching the Shop Report. It's Max McKee, you're dropping in on the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Hi, I'm Mars Man. We're at Mercury Stadium, and you're watching the Shock Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doug Flynn of the New York Mets. Well, a few other teams, of course, too. And you're watching the Shop Report.
I'm Matt Ramos, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? I'm Rajay Davis, and you're watching the Shop Report.
How you doing? This is Nelson Figueroa, former Major League pitcher with a lot of teams. You're about to listen to the Shop Report.
Hey, this is Howard Johnson. You're watching the Shop Report.
Hi, I'm Heath Bell from the New York Mets, and you're listening to the Shop Report podcast. Yeah!
Hey, I'm Josh Tolley, former catcher of the New York Mets, and you're watching the Shop Report.
This is Edgardo Alfonso for the Mets, and you're listening to Shop Report.
Hey, this is Doc Gooden, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Hello, this is Mike Hampton, and you're watching Shop Report.
This is Herman Harvey, former NFL offensive lineman with the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. And you're listening to The Shop Report.
I'm Jordan Gudeman, and I'm the founder and CEO of Eddie G's Cookies. I was first diagnosed with a nut allergy when I was young. At the time, there weren't a lot of labeled items that said if there may contain nuts or there are nuts in the food, so my brother and sister and I baked a lot at home, and we enjoyed treats from mixes and things like that, but I noticed that it was not the same as what my friends were enjoying, and I started making up my own recipes. When it was time to pick a career, I decided to start a bakery so I could share my treats with everybody else. When I started creating my recipe, I was taking in all the things that I thought I was missing out on. A soft, chewy center, a crisp outside crust, and a taste that is just like it came out of the oven at a bakery. When I put all those things together, I had come up with a recipe for a dream cookie. Eddie G's Cookies only uses the finest ingredients. We have all natural flavorings, no preservatives, and every cookie is made in a nut-free environment. The best part about Eddie G's Cookies is that they can be delivered right to your door. You can share them or not. We won't tell.
What it do, sports fans? It's your man BSJ from the Shop Report. And guess what? The shop is now open for business, baby. If you're on Facebook, go to our fan page, The Shop Report. Click on More, and then Shop to view all products. Or if you're on Instagram, click on the Shop tab to see all our products. I mean, what you want me to do? I'm selling merch here.
Cleaning the cracks on your pavement surfaces can take hours and be torturous on your body. Until now. Buy Cracky Weed Removal Tool was designed specifically to clean pavement cracks in a fraction of the time, all while standing up. Buy Cracky's patented design incorporates a two-sided steel blade and is encased by a durable fiberglass shell. Simply use the large end to clean big gaps, then rotate and use the small tip for narrow gaps. Made in the USA, Buy Cracky eliminates weeds to the root and is environmentally friendly. Buy Cracky. Save your back while you clean your crack.
All right, and just like that, we are back. Again, taking a look at this college football playoff list. Let's see. He's projected 137. Gibby saying Bowers. Yeah, absolutely. JSN. Dude, this is the week for JSN. Garrett Wilson. No way. Scary Terry. There you go. Tough matchup for Scary Terry. So again, I will pull this on my end here, looking at the rankings for these guys. Let's see. So again, I'll point out JSN actually does really well against where the Jets have been vulnerable to receiving points. So not the best matchup in the world, but certainly far from the worst. And then as far as Garrett Wilson, similarly, that I don't know though. That last game against the Colts, I think this is the beginning of the end. I'm waiting for Aaron Rodgers to fake an injury. Did Gully go to bed? No, he claims he's doing something momentarily. I didn't ask follow-up questions, so I'm awaiting his return. Matter of fact, let Doc know earlier too, just as a reminder. Oh yeah. So Doc should be joining us here momentarily. Just got a message from him. And so definitely taking a deeper dive here. So it looks like we'll get some extra company. I don't know why didn't I start DJ Moore over Terry. Yeah, looking at his. So something to consider too, Givy, is when you walk through this in your mind, just kind of go through what's the most likely thing to occur. So when it comes to a game script, so if you were to say, well, the Bears would be likely trailing, and that should mean either garbage time points for DJ Moore amongst the rest of the receivers on the team, or we couldn't have really put a scenario together unless we were like a true delusional Bears fan and really like the most of diehards to be like, and this is what they're going to expose. It just otherwise it wasn't going to happen, right? So, and that's exactly what occurred. 12-point difference. His team is so solid. I agree with that statement. Breece Hall is not ideal. Any of these Jets guys. Additionally, hang on a second. I'm going to look this up, but I'm almost positive Breece Hall was losing some of his snap share. Let's see. Or kind of being wasted. One of the two. Here we go. Oh, questionable, but expected to play. Look at that, everybody. He went from a did not practice on Wednesday, limited Thursday, and he supposedly had no limitations Friday. I don't know, folks. Look, I'm going to be the first to say that. Yeah, to Austin's point. All right, let's see. Let's check out how Seattle. Okay, so here we go. I'll share this with everybody right here, CBS Sports. So here's what every running back has done against the run, fantasy-wise, versus the Seahawks. I wish I could pin this comment. So again, I'm looking at this and saying, okay, I get it, it's 18 average, but these aren't entirely stellar numbers. We can get something like that, like what the Rams did, then I think we'll be in good shape. And again, I'm looking at it scheme-wise and saying, who does the Jets actually resemble? Do they run a similar style to the 49ers? Ancient astronaut theorists say no. Again, in interdivisional games, outside of them, now the Giants scares me a little bit. The Lions, what we're talking about, arguably one of the best offensive lineups. I mean, they're not quite greatest show on turf necessarily, but maybe not a far cry from that. That's kind of scary to even think that I'm putting them together, but now the Pats running all over them, I don't know about that. I see more of a Connor. I'm looking at if he gets 12, Givey, how do we feel about that? If we can hold him to 12. And then you're talking about Garrett Wilson as well. So Garrett Wilson would be the number one receiver. Did terrible against the Seahawks. Looking at the Patriots, terrible. Tyreek Hill did terrible. How about the Lions? Not quite as bad, but that's a one-off. Oof. But see, here's the thing too, Givey, is it's not. So something I want to point out a lot of times, like you guys heard me say Funderburg, right? Which is worth noting. All right, welcome back, D Gully, to the program.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I just had to show this to you first before I go back.
You know what, Givey? I'm gonna have to come see you, man. I'm gonna have to come see you, Givey.
So what we're doing right now, Gully, while you were gone, is I'm going position by position because Givey is now in a serious conundrum where if he puts basically it may start Garrett Wilson on one side, plays against the running back in the other for the same team, Breece Hall, against his Seahawks, right? And so looking at not just like how they did as a whole, right? When you see, oh my goodness, 27 points to the wide receiving position. Oh no, but which one, right? Like who went off? Was it really both of them or was it the number one receiver? And that's so like Debo, yes, had a day.
Right.
That's when you start to, and we can live with some of these numbers. But it does seem like the number one guy's been okay.
Okay.
Oh, Austin's talking about Garrett Wilson or JSN. Oh.
I remember. I wasn't here last week, and you did terrible. Now I'm back. They go to sleep. Remember that? You said it yourself, Givey. You said it yourself, Givey. But I appreciate the love.
Oh no! And hey, what stellar timing for Doc?
See, I can just leave you to Doc, Givey.
Yeah.
I can just leave it to Doc. Doc, you messed our guy all up, Doc.
What's up, player?
What's going on, man? You messed our guy all up, Doc, last week, man.
How I messed him up? What did I do?
You messed our guy all the way up, man. You gave him no faith. Nothing, man.
Did he lose? Did he lose?
Woo.
Did he lose? Did he lose?
I think he did. Givey, tell him.
Didn't I tell you he was gonna lose? Didn't I tell you?
You ain't had no faith in the boy. That's what I'm saying. You ain't had no faith.
This is a show about realism.
You gave him no optimism.
I'm not here to give false hope. All right,
Austin is out here
to get to hear what you need. Okay, I'm not. If I had to gave that man false hope and told him something, he'd been all hyped and like, "Well, Doc told me I was gonna win and I lost. So you know what? I'm just gonna tell you right up front. Yeah, you wasn't gonna win that player.
Well,
at least you know what you're walking into.
What's up, Austin? What's going on? Well, did you give him the right advice? Not the verdict. Did you give him not the verdict. Well, you, like it's like the doctor, right? This is the prognosis. It ain't looking great. Did you give him the treatment plan? Did you give him?
I told him what to do with what he had, and it still might not have been enough. Those are my words, and it ended up not being enough. Like I said, it wasn't going to be enough. Well, hey, the verdict was the same. So,
Oh, see, now Gibby's blaming you, Doc. On,
yeah, you told him to pick Otten over Mark. Doc.
Hey, because Otten usually goes off, so I'll take that. I picked Otten too, and I ended up regretting it. So,
Doc said I had no chance, though. There's always a chance.
Well, there was a chance, and it just wasn't on your side. And I wish you better luck this week, though.
Well, the way he was talking, it looked like he down bad already, and it's Saturday. He said he was with it. And it's Saturday. We were talking about Doc earlier, though. We did bring up, what a day we had in college football today.
Oh, go blue! You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, man, for the 4th straight year, the team.
Y'all supposed to get us while we down.
Yeah, bro. But who's down really?
Ohio State. They down right now.
Yeah, man.
Hey, you welcome for Bucky, bro. I picked Bucky up too. I'm just trying to do what I can when I can do it. Sorry about the Otten thing. I picked Otten too, and I messed that up. So my bad. I do better for you this week with the picks. I got you. But Ohio State down bad. I'm happy they lost. As a Michigan fan, I am excited that Ohio State took that L. We got the #1 quarterback in the nation coming next year, along with a few other good recruits. Michigan is rebuilding, dog. This is Ohio State's year to get us, and they couldn't do it. Now, what you think they're gonna do next year when we actually got some better recruits?
That's a really interesting question, Doc, because I wonder if they're going to have enough confidence in Ryan Day to stick with him. Remember,
I don't see why not. He's not a bad coach. He just can't beat Michigan, and that's fine.
No, bro. What have we won outside of Michigan?
Yeah, you got me on that one.
But no, and you know what? Hold on. Let me be all the way fair, though, because you know what? If anything, Ohio State should probably look at the way Michigan handled the Harbaugh tenure, in that Harbaugh had a hard time beating Ohio State.
When the first couple of years, we had to get better recruits. You know what I mean? We were rebuilding.
Right. And Ohio State was Harbaugh and Michigan's demise many a time. And they stuck with them. They stuck with them through it. Now, the entire situation that led to Harbaugh kind of like leaving the program and then going elsewhere, that situation notwithstanding, Ohio, Michigan had to make a choice on a few years. Once it sort of became clear that Harbaugh's having a hard time beating Ohio State, they had to decide, well, how good is their program outside of Ohio State, outside of playing Ohio State, and can they compete on the national stage? And largely they were. They ran into the same problem that many Big Ten teams run into when it comes to CFP. ACC and SEC typically does damage to us, to the program. But basically, Michigan had the same problem Ohio State had. It's hard to beat the big one. Nonetheless, they stuck with Harbaugh for many times, even after losing to Ohio State, once it became repetitive. I don't know if Ohio State's going to return that same energy to Ryan Day.
I mean, they might. You got to think about it. This is no longer a scholarship-driven league anymore. You got NIL deals, so they're not getting the recruits they used to get, a few years back when it was, hey, we're going to give you the biggest scholarship offer from any college. No, I'm going to go here because it's the Ohio State. Now you ain't got to worry about that. I can stay right here at Jackson State for this $10 million NIL if I want to. So, yeah, think about it. Recruits are a little more lopsided now, or evenly spread, I should say. So they're not getting the recruits they once were. But, I mean, they're not a bad team. They're still only a 1, maybe 2-loss college team. So in coaching standards, that's not that bad. Like, yeah, maybe you got out coached today, which they did. It just came down to, who coached the best. Because I can't say neither team played better than the other. They both played pretty suspect ball. Like Michigan got a fumble, turned around through an interception. A few plays later, Ohio State throws an interception. It was just both teams messed up. It's just Ohio State messed up the most today. So that's why they lost by 3. He's not a bad coach. I see them giving him a few more years to kind of work with that Ohio State team to see what they can get out of him. And if he don't produce at least a playoff
win?
appearance, a playoff win or appearance. At this point, we got to go appearances because what playoff appearance did they have with him under their team?
Last year.
Okay, that's 1 year. Out of how many has he been there?
No, I believe he's been to 2 playoffs.
Well, he gonna have to start winning some because
I think he's been to 2 playoffs. Hold on, let me take a look.
I don't think he's been to that many playoffs, bro. I think it's only been like 1. To be real with you, I think it's only been 1 because Michigan been spanking them the last 3 to 4 years, so they ain't.
Maybe not.
Last 4 years now.
Not 2023. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not 2022. Ohio State was winning. That was the year we played Georgia and we lost. 2022.
Oh, we got smacked by Georgia.
No, we didn't get smacked by Georgia. Remember, it came down to a field goal.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
2020. 2020, we went to a national championship.
Under that coach? Under Ryan Day?
I believe so, yes. Yes, 2019 was
I don't remember the...
Yeah, it was the pandemic year. But see, that was the year that
I don't really remember that year. Sports was so flustered that year, bro.
2019. Wait a minute. 2019 was Ohio State, Georgia, LSU, Clemson. Was Harbaugh the coach then in 2019? Let me take a look here.
All I'm saying is, okay, if that's the case, them 2 playoff appearances and no dubs going to change here in the next couple of years. Like I said, he's proven he can get you there, but he ain't proven that he can win it. And it's only so much Ohio State going to put up with just getting there.
Yeah,
this is the same school that beat Alabama in a national championship game and ain't won 1 cent. So they trying to get back to that natty. And if Ryan Day cannot prove that he can get him to the natty, I don't see him being there much longer. I give it like another 2 to 3 years and they part ways. Like, hey, you did one heck of a job. Somebody will pick you up somewhere. You're not really in jeopardy. You'll be coaching somewhere after we let you go. But you're just not what this program thought you were going to be. You're not getting us to the natty. And that's the expectation for every coach that has ever coached at Ohio State is, can you get us to the natty?
Yeah. Right. So 2019, Ryan Day was in the playoffs. Ryan Day coached the team to the playoffs. 2020, Ohio State was also in the playoffs. And yep, and then let's see here. 2021.
But they're not winning nothing. That's what I'm saying.
2020.
I said he proves he can get you there. But what is he doing?
Nope, not in the playoff.
Yep, hey, Austin, real quick, I'm going to say either JSN or Scary Terry, basically, real quick with McLaurin. Obviously, he's had about 3 red zone targets over the last 4 games, but Tennessee's defense, this group I've talked about quite a bit. 2 high coverage, 64% of the time, which is the 4th highest overall. Against that type of coverage, McLaurin has just under 20% of the target share and a 41% air yard share. So, and 25% on the first read. So basically those would bode better than JSN, but and JSN bodes better than Brian Thomas because of what Houston's defense does and did against him previously. So, and then lastly with Garrett Wilson, like we said, not the greatest or the worst matchup for him, but I don't trust Rodgers. The efficiencies dropped against too high for McLaurin. But again, this is where you hope that the volume would remain the same. And so for me, it would be one of those two. And Doc, I'm already cooked. So Doc, he's showing exactly.
Oh no!
Man.
He set these three.
Donald had a game, boy. I'm like, golly, but that's Donald. He's too wishy-washy. Like he'll have a great game this week, and then next week he'll have like 10 points.
Right.
Yo, I made the mistake of starting Patrick Mahomes over Tua. Tua had 62 points.
Wow.
What?
That I just left sitting on the bench. Yes. I was sick about it, boy. Sick about it.
Tua had 62 points.
62.2 points, bro. I was sick watching that game. Like, dog, next week I'm starting Tua. I don't care. This is second consistent week Tua has scored like 10 more points than Patrick Mahomes. I don't know what it is, bro, but like coming down on this last little end of the season, Patrick Mahomes' numbers have been like deteriorating, man. Like he started off like 50, 45, 48, 49. Now it's like 44, 42, 41, 46 every now and again. Like,
45, 47.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know what it is, bro, but it's like the end of the season. He's just not as good. He always starts off hot, then towards the end of my fantasy season, he's putting up low 40s instead of high 40s.
Well, think about it. I mean, let's think about it, right? Let's think about how it goes, right? Who is finishing the season the strongest, especially if you're talking about a quarterback with as much attention as he gets from around the league? Then the idea that they're playing for Super Bowls. So I wonder if game plans change somewhat, and if they move to a different type of playbook somewhat to change so that way they're prepared for the postseason. So I would imagine his fantasy participation might drop off a little bit, considering that the NFL don't play fantasy football; they play the game by which fantasy football is based off of. So would that affect him? Like who's really ending the season? Like which of our elites?
Bro, he got D-Hop now. Like the points should start going up. Like he just added a great weapon in D-Hop, but he's struggling to beat Vegas, bro. Like what is going on?
No. Hold on. Pause. Wait. Time out. We got time out.
Bro.
No, time out. We can time out.
He struggled to beat
because
Denver.
I don't care what nobody say. There is no reason, other than the fact that it's a rivalry, that Cleveland should have beaten Pittsburgh.
No, there's no way.
So by that same logic, you're talking about a rivalry. You talking about, okay, he struggled to beat his division. He's struggling to beat his division. The division hates him because he terrorizes that division. So they're going to play if they don't have no other point to prove any other time, it's going to be against their division. So he's going to struggle. It would surprise me, huh?
Say it again. This year though. In years past, he ain't struggled with teams like that. He's completely obliterated them. Because I have
not all the time. Not all. I mean, the capability of a under 500 team that is also your rival to have a competitive matchup with you is not surprising. It isn't surprising. Like, tell me this: what do you see about the Browns that say, "Hey, man, they're a playoff team"?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, so why do a dark horse Super Bowl contender struggle with them? Because it's
maybe
a rivalry.
it is that rivalry factor. I get it, but man, fantasy wise, I don't need him to struggle. I need him to steamroll over them teams like he normally do. But he's struggling. I tell you what, though, I might end up starting Tua the rest of the season because if you look at fantasy scores, he's only continued to get better since he got back. So that might end. I got 3 quarterbacks that's doing great. I got Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix, and I have Tua. So I struggle every week trying to figure out which quarterback I should start. Because Bo Nix is another one that hidden gem, found him in the waiver wire, and it's like every week he just gets better and better and better and better. It's like I don't know who to start. So I think I might use it for some trade ammo here coming up towards the playoffs. That way I can ensure myself a Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, you're right about that when it comes. You're right about that when it comes to Tua though. Looking at some data about him here in recent weeks, especially after week 10.
He's gotten way better.
He's been very strong, very strong.
Yeah. So I say he's getting better, and Patrick Mahomes is getting a little lighter. I mean, it's only like
no turnovers.
Yeah.
No picks in the last 3 weeks. I mean, he don't throw in a lot of interceptions anyway, but
no, he don't. But he had his yardage last week was not
right.
last week. This is
Crazy.
Past. He had 362 yards and 2 tutties.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, they've been passing the ball a heck of a lot, though.
Man, bro, I was so hurt I left that 62.2 sitting there. Like, I hate looking at the fantasy app because it's still sitting there. Like, I need for this week to blow by so I can forget about this mistake I made.
Oh, man. Well, I don't know what to tell you. You got to keep playing, right?
Yeah.
Keep going to the end.
I clinched the playoff berth, so I'm good. I'm second in the league. Then what's crazy, you know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but you know how I'm good at fantasy football. Remember I told you I got a new follower, a new number and everything? So one of my other leagues I got locked out of. So the starting lineup I got is my starting lineup. And I can only see it through my homie if I call him like, hey, how my team doing? I'm number 1 right now. And they switched my team up at all. Still number 1. I only lost 3 games. So I do this.
Well, all right then.
So Austin's asking, what's your scoring format? 62 points is crazy. I'm wondering that myself.
I honestly don't know. This is my friend's league. He sent me an invite. I just joined it. This off ESPN, so I'm honestly not sure what kind of format this is.
They probably get points for the color of their jerseys.
I don't know what kind of format this is. Honestly, I just joined it.
Yeah, definitely. So again, Doc, do you see this any different out of who you would start for? Let me try to find this for Austin here. There it is. Out of Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Not worried about Garrett Wilson because this is a dumpster fire over there in New York. That's Brian Thompson Jr., right?
Yep, for Jacksonville.
Yeah. They cook. They don't have Tyler Murray. I mean, not Kyler Murray. They don't have Trevor Lawrence. So
he's supposedly back this week, but it's
but
against
how is
Houston.
But how was he throughout the week? Like, was he limited participant? Like, I need to know that too before I can say start him. Because if Tyler's not healthy going up against that Texas defense, he might not even have enough time to get the ball out. Or since he's bouncing back from injury, he might not even think he has the time to get the ball out. He's going to be throwing a lot of panic balls, I like to call them. And it might not be as accurate as it should be.
Well, furthermore, how many can you go? Do you have 2 in the flex, or how many are we talking?
You can have a running back or
just asking Austin's case.
Tight end in the flex.
Can he get 3? Can he get up to 3 of these guys?
I'd start McLaurin. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like McLaurin. I would start him.
It's like 20 points for a touchdown, it sounds like.
No, he's just a starting one. Start one. Oh, shoot. All right, so give us that. Bring those four back up again. So he said Jefferson is going to be. So who's on the other side of Jefferson? McLaurin.
Hey, I start Scary Terry.
Who does Washington have this week?
They play in Tennessee, the Titans that the Lions put up 52 points on, bro. Their CBs are trash. I would most definitely start McLaurin.
Okay. You said McLaurin.
Yeah, I'm starting McLaurin. In
well,
Tennessee,
now JSN, they've got the Jets, though.
I mean, the Jets, they have strong cornerbacks, a lot stronger than Tennessee. I'm not saying they're better than Tennessee, but cornerback-wise, receivers
than Tennessee.
I'm talking about cornerback-wise. Like,
I mean that too, yeah. So you're saying the Jet secondary is better than the Tennessee secondary?
Yeah. So Jackson Smith-Njigba might struggle a little bit more than Tyler would. I mean, not Tyler, but Terry would.
Yeah, I'm going. I would
That's
say
why I would start Terry based off the fact that CBs in Tennessee are like hot garbage juice, and the ones in New York are actually pretty decent. I'm not saying they're great, but they're decent. They're not going to be any easy targets coming out there in New York.
Yeah, we'll sign off on that one. What do you think, Double J? Because I think Doc will. I'll ride with you on that one. Terry, start Terry, Austin.
Yeah, like I said, Jackson's still gonna get his targets, but they might be a little harder to hit because the pressure and the amount of talent that's in those CVs they're gonna be on them. But I said Terry gonna be like 7-Eleven out there, open all day, baby, open all day.
Yeah, so I was really stuck between those two myself. So I'm glad that everybody kind of consensusly came to the same conclusion there. For context, Austin, I'm actually playing them both. So for better or worse, and to Gibby's point, I actually just went and looked. I have Bucky Irving in my super flex spot. I have MVS of all people in the other spot because, again, similar to when the Rams played Miami, second receiver score, and again beaten over the top. So going with MVS as a long shot. This also must win, by the way. This is the league that I'm 6-6 in because of to Gibby's point. Doc Gibby said earlier both of his top two picks are on the bench, and I felt that in my soul because I've had to deal with that darn near all season. But again, for context, guys, I have JSN in, I have Terry McLaurin in, and also Bucky joining them. But I may opt for Juwan Jennings against Buffalo. I'm on the fence about that rather than MVS. It's hard to argue. So
Doc, Austin asked a question. Oh, he's saying that, hey, we might want to rethink how strong that secondary is for the Jets.
That's what I was saying. As far as the Jets themselves, I still thought there was opportunity with that's why I was going to start JSN. I actually think that the second receiver, to Austin's nailing this. DK gets shadow coverage on Sauce. That allows the core. I'm trying to think of the verbiage that basically I wanted to call it the corner, but it's to the outside, and that allows the system actually sets up very well for JSN.
Yeah.
So you take away the first primary target in DK, which even then, DK Metcalf's supposed to be against a guy that's I think that he's 5'10", and DK's 6'4". I mean, so good coverage or not, he'll still be able to have a shot there. You get what I mean? But what that'll do is potentially force them. And of course, for those that don't know, Sauce Gardner's not far from this area here. He was only about maybe 15 minutes away, 15, 20 minutes.
So he can come see you if you don't like what you're saying.
Well, he really could.
Like
yeah,
FedEx delivery,
he
like
really could.
He can FedEx deliver a knuckle sandwich, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Right.
Well, we're giving him the respect portion. It's the other guys that we're not. Yeah.
You just talking about how he's 5'10", 5'10", and 6'4". You just said all that.
I thought the other guy, what's his name? Mike something. Hang on, Jets corners. Now I gotta figure this out before I walk into a wall, or that's what I'm gonna claim. Oh no. Yeah. Oh boy. Let's see here. Yep, DK gets shadowed by Sauce. And Tank Dell also had 126, 18 fantasy points. I'm all over it. Yep, I'm with you. And those are all the number 2 receivers. So there you go. If you're putting a lineup together tomorrow, put JSN in there. I actually like JSN over
Terry McLaurin.
Mm-hmm. But I have no choice but to play him.
All right, so you got to pick one of us to blame next week, Givy. Well, hold on, wait a minute. Who was asking? Oh no, yeah, well, Givy and Austin. You got to pick one of us to blame. So there we go. Doc and I are going Terry, and Double J wants to be the smartest guy in the room next week.
Way to go.
And pick JSN. Well, you figure out how that goes.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. You said it. Nah, you walked right into it.
Well, now, wait a minute, Austin. What do you want to occur here? So
You're right.
Well, I think he's leaning towards Terry McLaurin. In fairness, Terry is projected more, but you know how I feel about projections. I'm just putting that out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So did you ever get to the bottom of this bracket?
Right, because I was looking at rankings. Right.
You sure were. And naturally, obviously, we of course got here we go. He's going Austin's going JSN, no pressure. Oh man.
All right. Yep.
Jeez.
Yeah, go ahead. Sign off on that. I mean, hey, listen, if you right, the team, hey, if you win, the team wins. But if you don't, just know Doc and Gully told you what to do, Austin, and you decided not to listen. All I'm saying is the team still wins.
Check that out. Tank Dell was shadowed by Sauce and still got 18.
Yeah. We'll just see what happens to Terry McLaurin.
Well, I hope they both go off. I will say that because they're both starting on my end.
Well, we just hope that Terry McLaurin goes offer. Okay, he goes more off. How about that? So, this college football playoff situation. Again, I'm thinking Ohio State moves to 9th. I think Ohio State moves to 9th. And then, okay, yeah, see, he said JSN got the hot hand. All right, we're gonna see. But yeah, I think Ohio State moves to 9th. Let me look at where we at currently. What else shakes up though? If Ohio State moves to 9th, then Oregon remains at 1. Does Oregon? No, Oregon doesn't lose favor. if Ohio State wins. Unless what did Texas
Hey,
do?
I'm back. I'm not mad at that JSN pick. That's not a bad backup. You win either way it goes. Like I would like to. I'm picking Scary Terry, but
Yeah,
JSN is not bad either way it go. But I see Scary Terry having more points. Just me. I have a funny feeling Scary Terry gonna be that guy that Tennessee just can't stop because Scary Terry is Scary Terry for a reason. He's all over the field. How do you guard somebody like that? You can't.
You can't.
A side note, it was reported by Triple H that Bronson Reed was injured at Survivor Series tonight. His return is unknown. Of course, the injury occurred when Reed went for the tsunami off the top of the cage onto Roman Reigns, and he ended up crashing down through a table when Punk moved him.
Yes.
So, from the sounds of it, Jacob Fatu also really messed up his leg. And, yeah, oof.
Right. That screws up a lot of booking, don't it? Man.
Well, yeah, you got 48 hours creative control, Gully.
All right, bet. I'm on the clock, right. Woo.
Yeah.
Whoa.
If you were to put me on the spot now, I would probably, I don't know.
You know what? Here, it not necessarily, because when we look at those guys, they haven't yet arrived at the critical positions. Like they haven't arrived at their required appointment. They're on the way, if you understand what I'm saying. So there's still room to figure things out, right? They're not due on stage in that prime position just yet.
Right.
So there are ways around that. I think right now, let's say, there's time to, it's that point where, like, let's say, for example, you can call in to work late, or you can call off work at a time where it's like not as critical. I mean, you're not going to be there, so your presence is going to be missed if you're doing your job at least halfway decent, right? But the later it go, closer to the shift start, you want to call off, and then people are going to look at you funny. So that's where I think, metaphorically speaking, that's where I think both of those guys are. Still sucks because I think they got really good plans for them, but they haven't arrived at those plans just yet.
Yeah, I don't believe this is kayfabe. I think there was some legitimacy to it.
Oh, no, when you see them spots, man, I'm surprised that Jimmy Uso ain't in that list.
It lived up to the billing for that.
It was a great main event for sure. It was a great main event. I loved the moment that I liked was the entrance, the Roman cutting off CM Punk and allowing Sami Zayn to get out there first. And then Roman proceeding to do it again, only for CM Punk to just walk in front of him and get out there anyway. I like what that could come out to be. I like how that goes. But I'm gonna tell you something, and we can save it for Monday. But Galactus is probably gonna start meddling again. And if he does it again, I would be very careful, because he did this the last time when Philip Jack Brooks was involved.
Really quickly, Sheamus doesn't come out, doesn't go over, right?
Right.
No major.
Right.
Big deal. Like he's kind of LeBron in a way.
No, he ain't.
Dude.
But no. Let me let you finish. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But I'm pointing out, obviously he's won titles.
Okay.
Right? So he's had no problem getting to the main events.
Okay.
But he's starting to fall short more times than not.
Okay.
that's where the comparison kind of lives and dies. Obviously, two vastly different individuals, but
well, I would say the reason why I would say he's not LeBron, it would be to me like if you said that John Cena was starting to struggle in the prime in the premier mid to late card matches and continuing to fall. That's why I don't think Sheamus is, because he isn't quite as decorated, even though he is a champion. He's good nonetheless. But your point notwithstanding, it's like, all right, Sheamus is coming up short here. Now, if we're shooting on this, or are we just thinking about it in terms of the work that it is? Where are you posing that question at, Double J?
I'm looking at it from a creative standpoint. Like, is this with Braun retaining?
Yeah.
Where do I go from here? Because like with Sheamus, I thought perfect timing. You got him in there. Just let him finish the story. You know what I mean? Like, get him in, get him out, and then we keep going here.
That's as if there isn't perhaps money to be made in Sheamus and Braun Breaker tangling for a while.
That's a good point. I can actually, I'll shoot on that. I think it, based on what occurred in the ring,
yeah,
there's no reason to suggest that it couldn't.
Right.
I thought both of them are the trio. I'll give Kaiser's on a roll again.
Yeah.
I mean, that didn't disappoint. Overall, I was, outside of poor women's group, man. Go back and watch it. I don't know. I feel like I'm somebody doing this to me on purpose. Like, they want me to be the guy to give the bad press. Like,
oh no, I gotta see it. Well, understand too, when we talk about it, right? You reminded me, right? Braun's match was a triple threat,
mm-hmm.
And so for him to come out on top at a triple threat, while he still has he's still getting the push, it makes him stronger, because whomever comes out of a triple threat, typically it's most frequently billed that they are stronger, because they were able to survive it. Not too often is it built that they were an opportunist. Right,
mm-hmm.
That the winner is an opportunist. It is occasionally. It hasn't been. It's occasionally booked that way, but in this case, it was booked. So Braun Breaker looks strong, having survived the legacy talent and the up and comers. Two guys who are also for their own individual regions have enough heat and are strong enough and hungry enough that, to the eyes of the fans, deserve a shot at that crown. Braun looks stronger having won that match, but it may not be over for Sheamus. Not at all.
That's a good point. And again, well, was there anything else on that card?
No, we'll save the rest of that for Monday. Because I still got to dive deep into it. But I'll just tell you what. Whoa. Whoa.
It is after dark.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Said you got to get in deep, huh?
Whoa. I still got to look further into the matchup.
I like get in deep a lot better.
I can dive in deep.
I like dive in deep a lot better.
No,
never mind, Doc. Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
All right, so looking at this, guys, this is the rest of the college football playoff here.
Okay.
Again,
Buffalo ain't getting
hey,
in.
Go ahead, go bring us up to number one. Like, start with number one. All right. No, yeah, okay, bam. So
Ohio
this is
State
what it looks like before the disaster that happened today.
The dumpster fire.
Yeah, I see Ohio State falling to 9th.
I give them like 10, bro. They lost to an unranked team.
No, and the reason why they fall in ninth and they still outpace SMU is because, in fairness to the committee and the way things are aligned, the SEC already has presence in the upper half of the playoff because they're oh no, Miami lost. You said Miami lost.
Yeah, Miami lost. This is upset weekend, bro.
So no one of the So Ohio State definitely not going past 9.
Ohio State might take Miami's spot at 6 because they love Ohio State for some reason.
Right. Yeah. So
Miami goes down to 9, Ohio State goes down to 6.
Okay. All right. Then now, when Ohio State goes to 6, then does everyone just move up? Does it just goes Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame, Georgia, Tennessee?
I see Georgia moving up, but I don't know where I would put them now.
Even though
because it might be Georgia 6, Ohio State 7, Miami 9.
Hey guys, this is from George Play. Hey guys, do you worry about with Gibbs' situation? Someone offered Christian McCaffrey and Reed for Gibbs and Hopkins. 9 and 3. My other running backs are Barkley and Bucky.
Wow.
Give them up.
Yeah.
Well, here,
Give
okay.
them
So
up.
now, wait a minute. I'm going to give you the
got
opposite
Barkley and
side of this.
Bucky.
You have Barkley and Bucky.
And you gonna get Gibbs
No.
You gonna get CMC
Wait a minute.
and
Someone
Reed?
offered CMC and Reed for Gibbs and so he's giving up Gibbs and Hopkins. Ew.
I mean, I would give up Gibbs for CMC.
Yeah, take the Hopkins. Oh, hold on. So wait. So
I'd
bring
give
it
up
back up.
Gibbs for CMC. I would give up Gibbs for CMC. He all they got right now. Them and Debo, like CMC's gonna get you points every week.
But if you hang on a second, and this is where I'm concerned is the Brock Purdy thing, even with him coming back. How long does San Francisco hold on before they shut these guys down?
I mean, they
And
still
pack
got
it
a lot
in.
of season. They still got a lot of season to play, though.
Well, we've talked about the NFC West a lot. And, dude, I am telling you right now, if it was not for that division being, again, these teams are 5 and 6, 6 and 5, right? So
Right.
Givey's Seahawks are currently in first at 6 and 5.
So I don't think you're making the point you think you're making because it sounds like they're going to be. It sounds like.
Look, I'm a paranoid McCaffrey owner.
He'll have
Right, but they'll be playing deep into
he'll
the
have
season because they're still in
CMC
playoff
all-
contention.
He'll have CMC all the way up until the end of the fantasy college football. I mean, until the end of the fantasy playoffs. So I say trade him. I mean, Gibbs. I love Gibbs, but it's CMC, bro.
Also,
It's
another
CMC.
trade he could pull is Henry.
Like King Henry?
Sound like it.
Who's the other one? Jetta's.
I don't know.
Sounds like Barbershop Jay's car.
Right.
Henry and Jettas for Gibbs, JSN, and Hopkins. No, bro. No. You
They're
already
giving up too
stacked,
much with
yeah, you
JSN
already
and
stacked
Hopkins,
deep
bro.
at halfback. Yeah, all you
might
doing
be
is
getting ready to trade somebody their way to the playoffs with the JSN and Hopkins and Gibbs.
yeah, and then
Not for just the Derrick Henry and Jettas. Like, I'm sorry.
right.
If
And
that's
then
if
the
that-
other
if
part I'm looking at is you
that Justin
already
Jefferson Jets.
maybe I don't know,
What they call them
but
Jets.
he's already stacked at halfback. So all he's doing is creating anxiety for himself because from here on out he's like,
Who you gonna know? Who do I start?
Yeah, you'll be asking that question. Like you won't have the depth, the wealth of riches that you have because you're only gonna be able to play 2 of them. You'll just be in the, you worry yourself to death. Having
my boy. Don't pull the trigger on that.
now, I would say this. I would say if you feeling froggish, then pack
With that
in.
CMC.
I would say pack in Henry in that. Pack in Bucky in that trade for Henry for something else. I don't know who
I
else
like that.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna trade for Henry and Jettis, I would give up Bucky, JSN, and Hopkins.
Well, no. Right. But you got to see.
Not JSN. It would just be Bucky and Hopkins because JSN, that's still too much.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It's still too much. I'm never giving up 3 players of that caliber for one that's
Or
really
for that
great
matter, no. Keep your or for that matter.
Who's his receivers?
No.
Bucky and JSN for Henry. That's a little better.
Wait. Hold on. Go back up. Bring back up his trade. His options not no.
Oh yeah, see that's a sexy group, dude. That's a championship.
Yeah,
group
I would.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would give up Bucky and JSN for Henry. That's the better trade right there.
But who's his receivers?
Who is his receivers though? See,
I mean, if he's giving up JSN, he must have some great receivers.
He has Hopkins, but that's not enough.
Okay, but we gotta see his other receivers too. I'm not.
And who is Jettis?
That trade?
Yeah.
Is it Justin Jefferson? Because they call him the Jet.
Oh my God! Then I would do that.
Clarify that for us.
Well, wait a minute. Would I? I don't know.
Yeah, clarify that for us, George.
Yeah, I would most definitely give up
Amari Cooper and Hopkins. Yeah, bro, I would tell you what. Yes,
they got Waddle.
Oh,
and DJ Moore.
Well, wait a minute. Can you sell high Waddle right now? What? Get rid of him, dude. I would try.
Yeah,
to
I know it's Justin Jefferson.
All right, so hold on. So going back to his trade is he going bring up his original. Yeah, he would receive Henry and Justin Jefferson, and the original offers would be Gibbs, JSN, and Hopkins.
If you could switch that and get JSN out of there and put Waddle in.
Okay, I would do Bucky, Waddle, and Hopkins.
I'm down for that.
Yeah,
Bucky, Waddle, and Hopkins for Henry and Jettis. That's what I would do. And if you don't want it, that's just too bad.
Right? Yeah, you're the one in control of the cards here.
Yeah,
you are. You have
Bucky,
the assets.
Waddle, and Hopkins. Bucky, Waddle, and Hopkins. That's not a bad trade for Henry and Justin Jefferson. You got 3 high caliber players for 2 high caliber players.
Yeah.
Right.
I would switch that up.
Because to Doc's points, the production value from these guys, they may not be household names, but at the same time, this season they have been household names. They're getting the job done. That's why I was curious if you could package Waddle, who may sound like more of a household name, struggled this year, but now you're on a sell high to his back. He went off a game. And has shown a little bit to be a little bit more consistent. And that way you could kind of stack the deck here and make a huge push into the playoffs. I mean, that would be a championship roster.
Oh, for sure.
Let's see. So, yeah, I think definitely, George, you could definitely get something done. You have got the core. It's got the core. Where do you think you're weak at? What do you think you're missing to really kind of win this thing?
Hey, it's our pleasure. Thanks for listening to us, and let us know how that works out for you. If you do end up pulling that, if you take our suggestion and then our counter offer, if that counter offer works, just let us know how it work out. Either way, man. So like I say, it's good for us to have the data, you know what I'm saying? So that way we know we're right or we know what we need to get right. You get what I'm saying? So that way we'll be all right.
Gully, what I'm actually trying to pull up too is I'm trying to look at a rest of season and the data that we have on those rankings. So let's see here with some of the guys that he was talking about, especially when you look at strength of schedule for the playoffs. Names that were thrown around. Let's see where JSN, Moore, Waddle, Cooper.
Okay. Bring that up on us. WJ, he just got back to us. He left Moore and Hopkins on the bench. He's starting Marvin Harrison, JSN. All right, I can see why he's concerned there. Also have Kittle as my tech. So he's giving me wide out numbers. Well, all right.
So the only one of the two that I'm worried about this week is obviously not JSN, it's Harrison. I don't think he would do.
You don't think so?
Well, as far as rest of the season, he's in a good spot, but
they're at Minnesota this week. Marvin Harrison and they're at Minnesota.
Oh man. Again, I talk about blitz, right?
Yeah.
So Minnesota, and I talked about two high safeties. Yeah. Minnesota, of course, highest too high, and that has been Harrison's kryptonite. They're going to have to move him into the slot, and even though Minnesota's allowed the 10th highest receiving yards to PPR for perimeter receivers.
Okay.
Man, I don't know about Marvin.
Yeah, see that. There you go. Doc's saying the same thing now. Now it's stressing me out even more.
He's too wishy-washy for me, man. I wouldn't have traded for Marv and gave up BT Jackson. I mean, Brian Thomas. I mean, I get it. The injury to Trevor Lawrence has been devastating for Jacksonville, but Marvin Harrison ain't doing no better, and that's with his starting quarterback. So, I mean, you basically traded oranges for apples, but you're going to get the same result.
But that's still nourishing fruit, though.
True, but how nourishing is Marvin? Like, his fantasy stats are too wishy-washy. Like I said, he'll have a great game this week, then he won't have another great game for another 2 to 3 weeks. Then he'll have a amazing game week 7 and won't perform great again until week 11. Like, this is fantasy we're talking about. I need to perform every single week. I can't afford.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. Looking at profiles and looking at stats and looking at things, we are expecting a lot from rookies.
Great point.
We are expecting quite a bit from rookies, and it's the reality of where we're at. So Doc, you say with Marvin Harrison Jr. being a starting receiver, that's to be expected in a sense, but drafting them highly right out of college, and then coming into the season, Kyler Murray and the comments he made suggested, like, hey, it's not my job to kind of force feed him the action or force him into development or make sure that he gets the ball. It's not my job to seeming to me like he was suggesting that I'm going to coddle him because he's a rookie, knowing that the comment could be seen. It's up to Marvin Harrison to take that with some maturity. These things help to illustrate for me that we placing a lot on rookies, and we shouldn't be disappointed that rookies aren't performing up to established veterans, performance in the game of football or in fantasy football.
But these rookies are built different, man. Some of these rookies came in proving, hey, I'm about this life. Like, I'm doing
sure.
it.
Some of them
Look
have.
At Brock Bowers. Look at Bowers.
Right? And that's the thing.
Like, isn't Bucky a rookie too? Like, did Tank Bigsby? Like, you got all these like first year players, or some of them even in their sophomore season, are outshining these veterans, bro. But that's because they built different. I don't know what it is about this upcoming class of players.
I'm saying to you, Neil, tell me, of these rookie wideouts, who's had a quarterback that suggested I'm not going to emphasize passing my wide out the ball?
Which rookie receiver has had a horrible?
Yeah, which rookie receiver do we know of that has a perhaps less agreeable situation with their quarterback. Like, name another quarterback that said, I ain't about to overemphasize passing him the ball.
Caleb Williams. He don't have to throw the ball to Dunze if he don't want to.
Did he say that?
Oh no, he didn't say it. But it's
all right, right.
Clear.
So even if it's we know that for sure. I don't out and out say it. You know what I mean? Like, for example, we know how in the locker room we might have issues and we have tensions or discussions, but those are kept in house for them to be worked on and developed in house. When information from in the locker room comes out to the public, now it's you got to still handle it in house, but then we still also have to decide as a team how we're going to manage the situation that then went out of the house. Are we going to be united as a team and work through our conflicts and then as a team manage the stuff getting out of the house? Or is the conflict that we're managing in-house exacerbated by the fact that somebody who I'm beefing with also went to the public, who we all generally don't really have the friendliest relationship with, because they're looking for anything to create a story or to create an agenda or to create a motivation for the team to run disarray. My point is this. Kyler Murray said what he said. And Kyler Murray can stand on what he stand on, and he's right. He said it to the public. So what happens is when Marvin Harrison is underperforming in the fantasy league or in real life, we're looking at, well, Kyler Murray did say he had his job to force him the ball. Well, maybe it's Marvin Harrison's job to make himself more open, or maybe it's maybe it's Kyler Murray's job to. But
Kyler Murray's the type of quarterback that everybody said it's been put out there before. He cannot take accountability for when he's wrong. So you're the quarterback. It is your job to get your receiver the ball. And there's been plenty, as George says here, there's been plenty of times Marvin's been out there on his own island, wide open. But Kyler don't get him the ball. That is your job to get the open receiver the ball, Kyler. So he's wrong for publicly saying it's not my fault it's not on me to get him the ball. Yes, it is. That's what you out there for.
I mean, that's quarterback, right? You touch the ball 99% of the time, right?
That's your job. You're the first person to touch the ball. As soon as you say hut, 99.89999% of the time, you the one who the ball is going to. Y'all don't run jet sweep, so y'all not jet sweep, but y'all don't run the Wildcat, so it ain't like y'all hiking it to a running back or to a receiver. No, Kyler, you are getting the very first touch every single time you say hut. It's your job to find the open man downfield, and you're not finding Harrison. It's not his fault. He's open. You're just not seeing him. It's your job to get the ball down the field. That's what that's one of the only jobs a quarterback has. Protect the ball and get it down the field.
Right.
That goes back to that accountability. He can't hold himself accountable for the lack of offense that's being produced. It's a majority of the offense goes through you. So if you're not producing, who else fault is it, Kyler?
Yeah. Now let's see. And from what it's worth,
same with Caleb Williams and the Bears. It hasn't been publicly said, but you can see from players' body language, the way they react to him, the way they are on the side of the field. Like that whole team is in shambles.
Hey, did you guys have the feeling like I did that as soon as that game was over, that coach was fired?
Oh yeah, I already knew. You got 30 seconds left, and you this close to field goal range,
and you have a timeout. Yeah.
First thing I would have did was call a timeout. We're gonna run a pass play to get us closer for this chip shot field goal, and then we're gonna kick that John in and play to win in overtime.
Right. Yeah. With a timeout. Yeah, you still had a time. Yeah. I was like, man, I just watched the guy get fired.
You set Caleb up for failure. Y'all wanted to put it on his hands, saying, "Oh, this rookie has to know better." He's a rookie, bro. What
did he have to know?
He has to know better. Like, you got a timeout left. You got this much time. It's the NFL.
So he should have just called it himself.
That's what they try to make it seem like. But I mean, it's the coach's fault too.
Yeah, because there was a 2-minute offense. There was a game plan. He was right. He was looking at the sideline. He was looking for the next play to be called. So clearly,
the coach isn't doing it either.
Right.
Well, I was just speaking on a commentator in the moment. when it was going down. They're like, oh, you got 30 seconds, this many seconds, that many seconds. They said the rookie's got to get his team together. Somebody's got to call the time. The first thing y'all shouldn't have been the rookie needs to call the time. No, the coach needs to call the timeout, get the rookie to the sideline, calm him down a little bit because it's clear he's panicking out there because he's never been in a situation like this on this. I mean, he has, but it hasn't been quite this big of a stage. So you have a rookie out there panicking, and as a coach, what you don't call a timeout. You leave your rookie out there to panic and figure it out on his own. That's why he got fired.
Yeah,
you put the game in the wrong person's hands when it's a situation like that where you call a timeout. That's when it's on the coach. Now, if he didn't have any timeouts and Caleb Williams was out there doing what he was doing, then okay, the commentator could have said the rookie needs to figure it out, get him back to the line, spike the ball. Then it's on Caleb. But in that situation right then and there, when the rookie needs to call it, no, the coach needs to call the timeout. It's clear he ain't paying no attention. Caleb looking at all his people, making sure they get back to the line of scrimmage. He ain't looking at the clock. He ain't looking at none of that.
Right.
What I couldn't fathom to understand or comprehend was the press conference. I thought it was all sloppy. First, his responses, and then the firing, the timing of the firing, right? So he's sitting there. You put the guy and have to have him, be subjected to all of that. You should have already pulled the trigger as soon as you got back to Chicago. There was no advantage to having him out there.
I get back to Chicago, I'm pulling the trigger as soon as the game over.
Well, that's what I'm hoping Purdue does with his coach. 66-0. I'm sorry, I could have coached them better than that.
Yeah, you could. We could have all got out. Maybe you could have.
I would have put a foot in somebody's
coordinator. Gilly, you could have been the wide receivers coach. Like we could have done that. We could have done way better than that.
Right. Yeah. No, 66-0 is just embarrassing.
Hey, hopefully Marvin Harrison goes over there to the Colts. He'll look good with Joshua Downs, Pittman, and Pierce.
How does he get that?
Did you hear that receiving core, bro?
Yeah. That would be nice.
Lee, Anthony Richardson would have a plethora of people to throw to. And then he got a running back and Jonathan Taylor that can catch or running out the backfield. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I did see that the last part of your statement.
Oh,
Caleb, I did see, he held the ball way too long. Like, there was time like, you got to get rid of the ball.
Caleb is a rookie, too. He's still trying to figure it out, man. He just got his feet wet. It's clear he don't have that greater pocket awareness. He's not really aware of his surroundings. His eyes are he's too down the field. Like, okay, it's good to keep your eyes down the field, but it's also great to be aware of what's going on around you. So that way you know how much time you got for a play to develop. If you got to get out the pocket and still keep your eyes downfield, do that. But you have to know what's coming up on you in order to say, hey, these legs got to move. I got to get out of here. He don't have that sense of urgency until it's like too late. And he got a hand on his shoulder pad. Now, somebody touching me. Let me get out of here. No, you should have got out of there before they even had the opportunity to put a hand on you.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, all of that was bad. I mean, obviously it worked out for the Lions, but
yes, sir. 11-1.
Right, and that's the separation between the rookies, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. That's part of.
Bo Nix is a veteran rookie. He older than Justin Herbert.
But he ain't like Chris. He ain't like Chris Weinke type. Oh, remember how Chris Weinke was like a 27 to 28 as a rookie,
bro, out there with Benjamin Button balling on us.
Right. So what I'm saying is, for the exceptions to shine. We have to be careful, I think, before we before we change the rules. So for Bo Nix to figure it out, what Bo Nix is also on a team that features a coach that's coached an all-time great, that's coached in multiple playoffs, that's coached and won a Super Bowl. So structurally, for Bo Nix to thrive as a rookie, you have to also consider and compliment the staff in which he's got to look to for information.
Great point. Again, reiterating Barbershop Jay's point from Tony Dungy's book. Any player can be, or any pick can be a home run. It's all about I'm paraphrasing. It's ultimately are they the right fit?
So what you're
And so
saying
guys
is,
like Baker Mayfield, again, clearly had all of the tools, but he went through multiple coordinators, like Gully, you've pointed out in the past. And now we're starting again, unfortunately for Caleb Williams. This is something I pointed to, again, with George being in the Indianapolis, Chicagoland market as well. You go back to basically from the time that I left is when the new president had came in for George McCaskey, and they've been downhill ever since he took the role. So what ends up occurring is this cycle of quarterback with a contract that wasn't selected by a coach and general manager. They had one chance in the last 14 years or 10 to 14 years to break that cycle. And they didn't. They doubled down on that coach like two or three coaches ago, around 2018, 2019.
so what you're
And
saying
that was
is
their only. So you hire a new GM and a new coach. Well, guess what? Caleb Williams wasn't your draft pick.
Right.
But I heard this a long time ago. It says sometimes it's best to not be the number one pick.
Yeah.
Because it's strictly situational. Like
that's why
look at the number one compared to the number two. Look at Jaden Daniels compared to Caleb.
Well, we've talked about
he's
this.
doing.
Even you know what? Hang on.
Like if I'm a player coming out of college, I don't care how good I am. I don't want to go number one. A lot of times it lands you in a lot of bad situations like this. Where Chicago, your coaching staff is horrible. Let's be real. They need to revamp for real. They got to get rid of whoever's in that front office. Hiring these people, y'all need another coaching staff. You need a better head coach. Like they need to rework that entire program.
Like the New York Football Giants. Woo.
Yeah.
Man, how many days do I see the reels that's going through and talking about how Saquon, how they plan to manage the Saquon situation and how it turned out. Oh my goodness.
Boy, Danny O'Shea and the Little Giants.
So check this out. Since 2010, the total of future Hall of Fame quarterbacks drafted in the first round are 3. Franchise quarterbacks are 7. Solid starters are 6. Low-end careers 7. Disappointments 18. And 2 are incomplete, meaning 16 of the 43 quarterbacks currently are solid starters or above at 37. That's a hit rate of 37%. If you're looking for a Hall of Fame franchise quarterback or absolute franchise quarterback, that's you got a 23% chance. There is overwhelmingly a 41% chance of you missing entirely. This is why I've been asking for a little while now, again, as we've seen this turn or shift back to bell cow running backs in the Sonic and Knuckles tandems, but ultimately the value prop of running backs. I've pointed out Daniel Jones with and without Saquon, and now, he's a part of the Minnesota Vikings, so he's not even a part of the same organization anymore. That's why I ask you both, if you were to be a general manager and you have a top 10 pick, do you succumb to the pressure of needing or feeling like you have a franchise quarterback, or are you better off getting a guy that has been around or maybe is in need of new scenery? How would you evaluate those lastly here?
No matter what I say about quarterbacks and all that, I'm still going with the Ozzie Newsome theory. Yeah, at the risk of contradicting myself totally for how the Atlanta Falcons handled their situation. Getting the best talent. If I have to see far and away that guy is the best talent the best talent available, and I've got a number one pick, I'm going to pick the best talent available. If that best talent happens to be a quarterback, from the quarterback that is proven he has the tangibles and the intangibles to make a difference, I'm going to choose him. If that happens to be a running back or if it happens to be a center or a left tackle, I'm going to choose. I'm going to go with the best, but I'm not going to be scared of or look at I'm not going to take caution about should it be a quarterback and factor that in. If he's that talented and I believe enough in what he can do, I'm going to take him.
Doc, do you see it any differently? They might be tied up. George chimed in saying, thanks for the chat, guys. It's been really good. Going to sleep. Have a nice weekend. Hope you all win tomorrow. See you, brothers. I'll be here in the next stream. All right, George. Sounds good. Any final thoughts from you both before we ourselves join George? Well, not literally.
All right. I am back. Having a little something.
Well, you could have saved
Sound like you fried chicken, bro.
Yeah, that's the floor. It's loud.
Yeah. Okay.
It depending on my needs. I don't think I would always go quarterback number one, first round draft. I'm not doing that. I'm not, because it's proven time and time again. You get a first round draft pick as a quarterback, and your team's already not that good. You end up ruining that quarterback's career. So I will go and focus on like my bigger needs. So if I need somebody on defense, I'm going defense first. Like if we have a quarterback that can win us games, obviously we're not going to the Super Bowl. So if I'm in a rebuild, the Super Bowl would not be my main focus. If I'm in a rebuild, what do I need? How quick can I get it? Where can I get it from? And if that involves trading or picking up a random quarterback in free agency, like look at Kirk Cousins. Atlanta didn't fare out too bad with that.
Yeah.
And then I would take me a fresh pair of legs at positions where you get beat up and banged up a lot. So yeah, I might take a running back in Jonty first, or I might take a nose tackle if that's what I need, or an edge rusher like the Lions did with Aiden Hutchinson. Like you have to look at other areas where we need help. It can't always just be quarterback. Yeah, quarterbacks are a dime a dozen. You can get you a veteran from somewhere that can carry the team over until you can get the quarterback you're looking for out the draft, and then you put him behind a good veteran, somebody to learn from, while you develop the rest of your team. And once your team is where it needs to be, unleash that rookie. Now he don't have to worry about dancing around the pocket because you have the offensive line you need to keep him protected. You don't have to worry about your running backs getting hit in the backfield because you got a running back that's good enough that has the vision to be able to get around that or see, okay, I can't go this way, so I got to go that way, like he did with Jahmyr Gibbs. There's bigger things out there than finding a quarterback in the draft. And like I said, you get Caleb Williams, who was the best quarterback. I don't think he was. I like Jaden Daniels better. But they obviously thought he was the best quarterback, and you clearly see they needed more than just a quarterback, and they didn't do that. They were so quarterback-focused that they forgot about all the other stuff that they needed.
Gotcha.
Great point. All right, guys. Any final thoughts on anything related to this evening with the games or tomorrow's fantasy football slate?
Well, we gave you our picks. We're going to ride with them. We're going to live with them. We're going to rise and fall with them. You let us know how well we did, so that way we can get back and get it better for next week.
Good luck.
Yeah. For our wrestling fans there, Monday night, Turnbuckle, we'll recap Survivor Series, the spectacle that it was, the good, bad, and the ugly, and what the future holds and may hold for WWE. Also, want to bring up some AEW content. Something that I seen on the socials that was pretty intriguing and helps to talk about the challenges that they have at maintaining their status as the next biggest thing compared to WWE in American professional sport wrestling. So look forward to talking about that with you guys. And then Wednesday, we back with our host, Barbershop Jay, the one, the only. So that way we do this thing on the Shop Report at 9 on the PM side. Doc, hopefully you'll be able to join us. If not, you can send us a comment.
I work third shift, so if I have to, I'll be on YouTube or Facebook or any of the other streaming platforms we have available for this wonderful show.
Yes,
in the
sir.
Comments. Check your boy out. I'll be out there.
Double
Good
J,
luck with everybody's fantasy teams.
Oh yeah. Double J, where can they find us at again?
Of course. So at the Shop Report on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and then Instagram as well. And then, of course, at What You Mean Gully on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter. Matter of fact, I think on Facebook too.
Yep. So all of that, you know where to find us. And remember, next time you really want to know what's going on, come to the shop.
Walk-ins are always welcome.
Holla.